welcome back to On the Mend. As always, I'm your host, Dani. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who commented and emailed on the last episode. I hope your planners turned out awesome. If you didn't get a chance to make one, don't worry, you can always go back and watch the last episode. Today, we are making this super fuzzy, cuddly scarf snood. It's like a babushka and a scarf had a baby. An adorably fuzzy baby. Anyway, like always, if we're going to make this, we need to start with the ingredients. First, you're going to start off with your lining fabric measuring 7 inches by 28 inches. I did mine 28 because I have an abnormally small head and neck. You might want yours a little longer. Your fur with the exact same measurements. Scissors or trimming shears. Pins. A hairbrush to get all that stray fur out of the way. Thread. Some form of fasteners. I chose hand sew on snaps, so unfortunately I'm also going to need a sewing needle and thread. And of course, my trusty seam ripper, because it is inevitable that I will make a mistake. So first, you're going to take your inside fabric, and we're going to need to finish these edges, so I'm going to use a zigzag stitch, and we're going to sew all the way around it. Now I'm pretty much just eyeballing this, which is probably terrible. If you have access to a serger, lucky you. I do not. And I could use a different foot, but I didn't want to bother with it today. Okay, so now we've sewn all the way around. I'll clean up all this, and now we won't have anything unraveling afterwards. So that'll be nice. Now on to step 2. Do you know what step 2 is going to be?
What?
Tucking and pinning. Huh? Huh? Last episode it was pin and tuck. This one, we're tucking and we're pinning. I don't know. Just little things get me through the day. Are you still recording this? Here. Okay, next you're going to take your fur. This is the messy part. I took a brush, use your hands, comb, whatever, and you're literally going to go through and you're going to comb your fur. It's going to get everywhere. It's like I'm practicing for the dog that I'm going to get eventually. Right, honey? Puppy? So once that's all combed through, you got most of the strays out of the way, you're going to take your inside fabric, you're going to take the right side. I just learned it's called the right side. You know, the side you want showing is right. Duh. And you're going to place that facing down. And we're going to tuck in all the fur and pin it so we can sew. So when you get to the bottom, we're going to have to tuck all this fur in. So I don't like to go corner to corner. I like to go, unfortunately, each single one. So we're going to tuck in all this fur, and then you're going to pin it. It's tricky, but it's worth it, I promise. And then tuck a little more and pin. The old tuck and pin. Why? Why do I find that so amusing? I don't know. After we're done pinning everything, we're going to sew all along the outside, which takes us to step 3. 4, 3, 3. now we're gonna sew all the way around, leaving a 4-inch gap so we can flip it inside out. Right side out. You know what I mean. We're gonna sew. Quarter-inch seam allowance. That's what we're rolling with today. As you're sewing, you're probably going to have to tuck in some of this unruly fur as you go. Now, as you near the edge, don't forget, leave about 4 inches from the end so we can flip it inside out. And guess what we're gonna do next? Oh, that's right. We're gonna flip. Well, somebody's gonna. Do we want to go to the next step? Okay. Now that hopefully you left that 4-inch hole, we're going to flip. So you're basically going to stick your hand in there. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing in there. And we're just going to pull this out. Ah. Oh my gosh. Hair. And voila. You have your scarf. We're not done yet. We still have to sew this bad boy shut. So let's do that. Obviously, to make this look pretty, we're gonna kind of tuck this in a little bit and pin it. So it's not a hot mess. Even though I appreciate a hot mess every once in a while. Maybe that says something about me. Okay, once that's pinned, we're going to sew this. Eventually. Again, that 1/4 of an inch seam allowance like this. It's always good to kind of push away all that fur as well. And boom, you got yourself an animal. I don't know what kind. Oh no, it's not real. Don't worry. I almost made myself sad. On to the buttons. Now that we have our scarf, you want to take the fur, and however you want it, I want it going down, whichever way you want it to grow, flow, whatever. You're going to put it around, and wherever it fits you the best, however you want it, take a pin and place it through. So now I have a pin here, and I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to place it right up against it. So when I take them apart, I have the pin on one side, and I have my thumb here, which I'll mark right there. And where'd that pin go? Right here. And that is where the snaps or buttons or clasps or whatever you're using are going to be sewn into. So now you know. And knowing is half the battle. So these marks are going to help you position your fasteners. I chose sew on snaps, so I will be hand sewing this. So choose your fasteners wisely. So next, you're going to take one side of your fastener and you're going to place it on the fur side right where that mark is. And we're going to sew. And then you're going to take your other one, and this is going to go on the flannel side, right on that mark. And we'll sew that. I always wanted to do that. Didn't work out so well. All right, now that you're done hand sewing, stupid, you should have yourself a snuggly little scarf. Yay! Well, thank you so much for joining me on The Mend, and hopefully I will see you next month. Who knows what we've got cooking up on The Mend. Oh, dang it, still on The Mend. Yeah, on The Mend.